What's up, you guys? Doing a little live stream action today. A lot going on. Got some juice. Just got to trade with the Nuggets. Assume this is all going good. If you have any questions, hit me up. We're gonna kind of do it like three ball, where we talk some games, talk trades, talk fantasy. A lot of fantasy if you're new to the game out here, but it should be a lot of fun. I'm super pumped. Didn't sleep great last night. Woke up, kept checking my phone. Didn't really get anything since the Delon Wright news. And yeah, let's get this thing cracking. I assume we're working here. Let's check. Yep, we good. All right. So yeah, let's talk about DeLon Wright. Gets traded to the Kings for Corey Joseph, who maybe on the move, maybe bought out. We'll see. But going back to when the preseason was going on, they gave the keys to Killian when they had DeLon Wright, when they had Derrick Rose. Like they were going to give the keys to Killian, and even Jeremy Grant, you could say. So when he comes back, and he's already doing live practice, he was doing live practice pretty much in the second half when the second half started. So Killian's definitely going to be a guy that picks up minutes pretty quick when he gets up. He said about a week and a half ago that he's shooting for 2 to 3 weeks. So roughly April Fool's Day, stuff like that will be probably where we're looking. And there's there are the comments. Okay, I was in the wrong section. Yep. Yep. We're talking DeLon. Yep. So we'll see what his fantasy value. Like we'll get to DeLon in a second. So the Pistons side, like I was saying, Killian's going to be the guy once he gets up. So he's ramping up already. So I think when he gets ready to go, he's going to be pretty close to where he needs to be. If you could stash Killian in fantasy, I would do it. Until he gets there, sure, Dennis Smith Jr. and Saban Lee will play together. Dwayne Casey was saying a couple weeks ago that they wanted to play 2 point guards, but that was before the DeLon Wright news, because we know DeLon Wright can play the 2, can play the 3, can play a lot of positions. So that's going to be exciting. And Detroit's got more moves to make. I mean, they're going to trade Wayne Ellington today, I think. Maybe I don't think Frank Jackson has a market. Rodney McGruder maybe has a market, despite what Draymond Green says. But so Wayne Ellington would be big. And just like to throw Hamidou Diallo, I got some questions about him last night. And yeah, if you have any questions about anybody, just drop them in. Just going to kind of talk. Hamidou Diallo was only doing straight line running pregame the other day. So that leads me to believe that Killian Hayes is actually further along. Don't forget, Hamidou Diallo pulled his groin out back in his Thunder days, and he missed a couple games. They were updating him like game by game, which the Thunder are kind of doing now. We finally got an update on Darius Bazley. We got the bad update on Shea. We'll talk about that too. So what a blow for Shea. But so like I said, Diallo, I got a lot of questions about him, but he's not that great of a stash to me, just because I don't think he's that close. So he's not great per minute besides rebounding. Shoots terribly. He shot better lately. Not a great steals guy. So I'm into him. But we'll be talking Kyle Lowry. No questions about it. I got a question: who's most likely to make a push for Lowry? Okay. So I guess we want to talk about Kyle Lowry. So let me finish up the trades real quick, and I'll get Lowry. So going to the King side of this and check out the depth charts. I hope I updated them all the way. But yeah, we got DeLon Wright in here. So we got here's some Kings questions. So stashing Hassan Whiteside, I think it's a good idea. Chances are you're going to be left holding the bag because he may get traded somewhere where he's not that great. But on the flip side of that, if Rashawn Holmes gets traded, Bagley, he'll be back in a couple weeks, maybe more. I think Whiteside's worth the stash. I don't know how quick people are on your fantasy. Okay, we got Orlando buzz. You guys are going to hear my phone buzzing a lot. So sorry. I guess I'll try to hold it. It's not fully charged, though. But, so back to DeLon Wright. He gets murdered here, like Ja Rule style, not talking John Morant. Bad, because you see they're playing Tyrese Halliburton big minutes, De'Aaron Fox. Those guys aren't getting traded. They're the 2 untouchable Kings players. So DeLon, he can play some 3. Yeah, they run some small lineups, even with Corey Joseph, Halliburton, and Fox. But nah, man. DeLon's a pretty easy drop. Like if you want to stash, if you want to stash Whiteside, it sucks. Like DeLon's gonna be, he's been awesome, and this is the thing. Like I've been saying it for a while now. These bad teams that have players that are on good deals, like they're very attractive, and the Kings pounce even though they don't really need them. So so let's talk Kyle Lowry. Got a lot of Lowry questions. So I think Lowry will undoubtedly lose fantasy value if he gets traded. in the context of his value now. If you think about it, of him staying or going, sure they're bad right now, so they'd be more likely to, they lost 8 in a row, right? They snapped it yesterday against the Nuggets, which was crazy, but his value's going to go down. So I mean, he's still going to be really good, but Jimmy Butler handles the ball a lot. Jimmy Butler is, you know, ball dominant guy. They've got a lot of other point guards, which they'll be trading one, probably Kendrick Nunn. But I'm thinking it's gonna be Miami. That's why I'm kind of talking about that. And then obviously Philly too. Like Ben Simmons handles the ball a lot. Joel Embiid's a usage monster. Like Lowry could definitely grind his way there. He's a good steals guy. Assists are great. He doesn't shoot the ball that well, so he'll probably be more of like a round 2, 3, 4 guy to around like 4, 5, 6, 7 guy. So still someone you're starting every game. But yeah. Other questions. Will Bogdanovich get moved? That kind of depends. So I think if the Hawks get a deal they like, then yeah. But I don't know. I don't think they really have they don't have much motivation to do so. They've been playing pretty well. Nate McMillan, who's my nemesis in fantasy because he lies all the time, he's been coaching those guys up pretty well. Corey Joseph in the rotation, I think he's going to get bought out. I just don't see any reason, like I was saying, to open up the show. Like if you're going to play Killian Hayes over Derrick Rose and Devon Wright, sure, Corey Joseph's been good and fine, not so much this year, but previous years he's a serviceable NBA player. I just don't see it. And yes, I know the Dwayne Casey connections and all this and that, but generally I wouldn't be too pumped about Corey Joseph. Could leave him out there. Other questions we got: would I drop Satoransky, Tate, or Claxton for Hassan Whiteside? I mean, if Hassan Whiteside's still on your waiver wire right now, there's like really no reason to. Like assuming you can be quick to the wire, something goes down. But like that's how you like I talk about this all the time, and it's so I get these ad drop questions, and I just don't know the context of every league. Every league's so different, and like if you drop somebody, are they going to get picked up? How many moves do you have per week? There's like so many different nuances to each league where it's not like fantasy football. Like okay, pick everybody up on Wednesday, drop them on Tuesday, and that's it. Pick them up someone who gets hurt in practice. Like it's all kind of the same. So yeah. Keeping Rubio. So yeah, if you have Rubio and he's like one of your worst players, I'm good dropping him. D'Angelo Russell, very unlikely to get traded. And what are they gonna do, man? That's a good question. I got so many notes, but yeah, so Ricky Rubio is gonna lose value. Like they're not gonna trade Russell, probably not gonna trade Beasley. They can't really play Beasley, D'Angelo, and Rubio all together, and Anthony Edwards together, and Cat. Like you can't run that 5-man lineup out there with Cat. It just doesn't work. So yeah. Other questions before I start hitting games, I guess. Actually, let me hit the other trade real quick. So we got JaVale McGee going to the Nuggets, and I think it's a good trade. So if you think about the Nuggets, there's a couple things they're missing. They're missing a big wing to guard people because we know Will Barton's undersized. Michael Porter Jr. can't really do that yet. Obviously, Paul Millsap can't do that yet. Gary Harris can't really guard bigs, like bigger guys like, say, a Brandon Ingram who lit them up a couple games ago. So they need that, and they need kind of an imposing guy that could slow down your bruisers, like your Valanciunas, Steven Adams, those dudes. So, I mean, McGee's not the prototype for that kind of role, but he's better than Jokic is. So it's a good trade. Isaiah Hartenstein, a.k.a. Hustlestein, as I like to call him. We're getting Malone bashing in the chat. Oh, man. I think Malone's been doing a pretty good job. But, yeah, so they got one thing taken out. I think the other guy that makes the most sense for me that they should trade for today is Cambridge Williams. I am in Kenny Hustle stan. It won't really affect anybody but Monte Morris. They want to start Monte Morris when he comes back. It doesn't sound like Gary Harris is all that close. So, yeah. And on the Cleveland side, we saw what happened yesterday. Like, sure, maybe Hartenstein gets in the mix, but they're going to play, and we could see Larry Nance get traded, all this and that. So we'll see what happens. Let's actually talk about that right now. And we're going to kind of go through these games. I'll hit some questions first. Let me pull up box score. We'll just pull up this one since we hit Detroit. Okay. I'll get some questions before we hop in. Drop DeLon for Monk. Yes. No question. Talked about Rubio. Talked about that one. Does Rudy Gay get traded? I think so. We don't know how serious the injury was yesterday to keep him out, but like this buzz has been going on for a while. Like I talk about this quote all the time if you listen to Three Ball. Like that DeJounte Murray quote saying, like, LaMarcus Aldridge is going to have to fit in with us was like a clear as day thing that they're going to be trading veterans. This, obviously LaMarcus is the prime example. But, yeah, I think Rudy Gay gets traded. So that's huge for Keldon. That's why people who keep asking me, do I drop Keldon? No, you don't drop Keldon. You hold on and you hope they trade maybe even DeMar DeRozan. Maybe they trade Corey Joseph. Maybe they trade – or not Corey Joseph. Patty Mills. I do that all the time. I always confuse Corey Joseph with Patty Mills, just from a name standpoint. But anyways, yeah. What do we expect from Boston in the second half? I think Tatum has to improve. So the COVID fog got him. He's dizzy. He's been shooting terrible. And, like, the problem with Tatum is his shot selection sucks. Like, if you remember his rookie season, he was hyper efficient. Second season, he lost all of it because he had that training session with Kobe, rest in peace. And, like, he was shooting too many bad shots. And he got good at those last year. So he was awesome. And now he's not great at them again. So that's kind of hurting him. I think he'll get it going. He's just too good not to. Let's see. Trading sitting Horford enough. No, I mean, I don't know. Like, he's going to sit a lot. Like, Horford's hurting you right now, and it hurts twofold because, one, you're not getting the games, and two, he's not going to be IR eligible because he's not going to miss 3 games in a row in a week. Like, it's horrible. Very noteworthy here that Moses Brown played a lot next to Horford yesterday. Like, Moses Brown, my God. Got a couple questions about him. Any question if you have Moses Brown versus, like, anybody that's, like, the worst player on your roster, like, get Moses Brown. Yeah. 2 of the worst players are Pirtle and Derek White. I mean, that's a loaded roster, but I mean, you gotta, I guess, drop White or Pirtle, whoever you need less than that. I would probably say White has worse value than Pirtle does, depending on your team. Like, those are really good players. Yeah, I play NBA DFS. If you played DFS last night, man, what a weird night, right? Busts everywhere. Giannis bust, Luka bust, Joker busts. Cat busts, like all the high dollar dudes busted. So if you went even, then you made money, man. I actually doubled up yesterday. I played pretty much all GPP, and I only run like 3 or 4 lineups out there most. I usually run 1 or 2 and put it in a bunch of stuff. But I played Lou. If you are on the show, established the show, my flag plant was Lou Dort, and Lou Dort got me some bread, so he's able to overcome my all Luka stuff. Let's see. Thank you for the props. I don't think Vuce is getting traded. They're not going to get enough. You're welcome. Thanks to everybody for the shout outs. Really appreciate it. Got a question about Sekou. Yeah. Quote from Casey the other day saying they wanted to play him more. So as we got the box score up here right now, that didn't happen yesterday. He only got 8 minutes. So, I mean, he's not good. Like we saw, if you played fantasy last year, there was like a week and a half, 2 weeks when Sekou Doumbouya was productive. That's because they were playing him 35 minutes. Like, he is not a good permanent player. He hasn't really improved. Doesn't really bring defensive stats. So, like, there's very little incentive to stash him because Jeremy Grant, who's also really durable, Sadiq Bey has clearly leapfrogged him. So, yeah, I definitely am not into Sekou. Other pickups, let's see. We got Ty Jerome or Sato for Monk. Yeah, I would drop Ty Jerome. So let me talk about this one. This is kind of the big thing with Shea. This is not going how I planned, by the way. But you guys are asking good questions, so let's keep at it. I got a bunch of notes I want to hit, which I'm probably not going to. So Ty Jerome doesn't benefit. This is the thing that I think a lot of people who may not understand what's going on at OKC. So, like, this is why Lou Dort was my flag plant. Lou Dort is like the quasi point guard now. They want him downhill. They want him running dribble handoffs. They want him coming off drag screens. They want him doing all this stuff. Like, it's so clear. You watch 2 or 3 games at OKC, like, they want to get Lou Dort going. If Lou Dort ever can finish in the paint, like, oh my God, he'll be amazing. He'll be priced at like $8K in DFS, which is why he was such a good value yesterday, because he can block, he can steal. His assists are coming up. OKC has a lot of wide open threes they shoot. Like, it's a good system. That's why Shea's been really good. He's missed a lot of assists because they're just not that talented, but it's a good role to have. And they want to have downhill drivers. And really, Dort is their next best guy to Shea, who's leading the NBA in drives. So, yeah, Jerome is not that great of a pickup. I'd rather have Dort. I mean, Maladon, same thing. Like, he's okay. He doesn't play on ball that much. Horford's going to go through the ball, going to handle the ball a little bit. But Moses Brown and Dort, I think, are going to be the two guys. And Pokuševski. I think those guys I'd want first, and then it'd be your Ty Jerome's and Maladons and those dudes. Better rest of the season, Pirtle and Claxton. It's a pretty good question. It's got to be Pirtle. I mean, I love Claxton, and I think he's going to be great. But like Blake's going to keep ramping up. They're going to play him more. I don't think they're going to really let Claxton go where he's playing, 29, 30 minutes a game. They just got too much depth, and we know Nash, he wants to play small. So when Kevin Durant comes back, that's going to cut into so many guys. So I think maybe if you're worried about now to when KD comes back, maybe I'll take Claxton. But when your fantasy playoffs are going on, I definitely trust Jakob Poeltl, who's getting more offense. And that's been kind of the storyline since the preseason. Do you see Isaiah Stewart improving any more this season as we got the Pistons box score up? Yeah, so the thing is, and you'll notice this, what's 19 plus 29? They don't play together, so that's the problem. They have like very few spot minutes, and they're letting him shoot the three, which is great, and he's awesome per minute. So for him to be a guy that you're really counting on, you need Mason Plumlee to go down. He had that elbow thing, and we saw, like, oh my God, the day Mason Plumlee got rolled out for the first game when Stewart was starting, like, if you didn't play him in DFS, like, you needed to try harder. It was so obvious he was going to smash. But, yeah. So, yeah, I'm fine with him. But, yeah, maybe they shut him down, but I think they like Mason Plumlee. Haven't really much trade buzz on him. Let's see here. I lost my spot. What was it? It was Moses Brown. I think Claxton was a question I saw that was next. I wish I could cross these out. Yeah, it's got to be Moses Brown. Like, no offense, but like, have you been like? I know Claxton's been great, and I love him, and maybe I talked him up too much, but like Moses Brown's like insane. The key here again is they're playing him with Horford now. Like, he has leapfrogged pretty much everybody on the OKC team with the exception of a healthy Shea. He has to be rostered. It's pretty simple. And man, I have him on my 30-man team, so that was love it. I picked up him. Nick, I battled center all year. I picked up Moses Brown, Nick Claxton, Tony Bradley, and somebody else. I have JaVale. Like, all my problems are solved at center, all from a 30-man waiver wire. Like, it's so dope. But miss you, Darius, basically, though. Let's see here. Got some Stewart comments. Yeah, Karis LeVert's back, man. That was a great game. Had a dagger last night, too. We'll talk about that in a second. Casey is a known liar. Casey pregame is a liar. And I talk about this a lot. Pre-game coach quotes, you can't trust them. Post-game quotes, you can kind of trust a little bit more. And I think Casey's been a little bit more truthful this year. So, that's just my opinion. I enjoy his press conferences. Most people I think another tangent. Like, Billy Donovan press conferences are great. Like, he gives so much detail in his plans, and like he talks through his thought process. I love that dude. Miss Lloyd Pierce too. Poku takes, yeah. So going all over the place here. So we got some point Poku in some certain spots. They're gonna run him on ball. They weren't really running a lot of on ball stuff with him yesterday. This was my main game to watch. I watched just everything, but I have like 2 or 3 games I like really try to key in on. And this is one of the games I really watched yesterday. Yeah, like Poku's, like, you see 5 assists. Like, there's just a lot of ball movement in this offense, and there were a lot of assists left on the table. So yeah, I think he's going to be good. He's going to be up and down. You actually kind of like this volume. You don't want him to shoot a lot because he's not that great, but he's getting open looks. He's real crafty around the basket. So I think Poku's good. Like, obviously Moses Brown is the crown jewel of the OKC ads, but I definitely would put Poku number 2. Maybe Roby. Roby's kind of established, so I can't imagine Roby's on waiver wires where he needs to be. But Roby's good. Like, they ran him, Horford, and Moses front court yesterday in some key minutes. So that was interesting to me. They went huge yesterday against Memphis, maybe to combat Valanciunas a little bit. Yeah, Poku. Like, people love Poku. He's great. Fun, man. One of the most fun players to watch. And if you want to get engagement on Twitter, tweet about Poku, you will get it. Let's see. Ant-Man ceiling. We could talk some Ant-Man. So you got to be nervous. Like, this dude needs volume. So you're adding D'Angelo, mid-20s usage rate. You're adding Beasley, who will probably be like upper teens usage rate. Cat's going to be upper 20s. Like, he's not going to get there. So, certainly kind of a sell high moment for Ant, who's been, I don't know. Like, so I mentioned this the other day. He was red hot, right? And then, well, I think it was against OKC. They didn't play him down the stretch in a really close game. Like, dude, that's just dirty, man. So, I don't think he's going to be great. Why does OKC want the ball? They do. I mean, we could talk about what's good and what's bad, but the fact of the matter is, it's up to the coaches. So, let's see. Any other? I think I got most of the questions. Okay, got Sixers. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of just talk through all the teams as we go through. If you have anything specific, definitely keep it coming. But okay. So there's another one. Kyra Lewis or Nah rest of the season if they trade Lonzo. I think it's got to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Don't forget Bledsoe's also on the block. It sounds like so. Definitely rank Nah, who is proven. Great summer league. We've seen when he gets a big role, he could do it. We haven't seen that from Kyra yet. So I think Kyra's awesome, but I definitely will take a safer bet on a guy I've seen do it before, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Okay, so let me there's a Kevin Porter Jr. question. Let me get that one. If Kevin Porter Jr. And I got asked this yesterday, I was like, do I stash Kevin Porter Jr. through the deadline? Like, did you not see what he did like right after the break? Like, yeah, you keep Kevin Porter Jr. on your team because Depot is out for personal reasons. Like, there's no question. Obviously, Wall, who is probably going to get cleaned up with his knee or something after the break. Yeah. Robert Williams or Moses Brown. I mean, Moses Brown, like he and Robert Williams are like identical, just long, all over the place, kind of fumbly with how they move around in the paint, and just stat machines. Moses Brown has the role. Robert Williams doesn't. Moses Brown has a bunch of bad players around him. Robert Williams doesn't. So, if you put Robert Williams in Moses Brown's role, I would take Robert Williams, but roles matter. So, give me I don't know how high I would go on. Like, if we were drafting today, how high would I go on Moses Brown? Like 5th, 6th, 7th round? Like, he's gonna be awesome. They're really committed to this dude. I guess let's just hit the rest of OKC. Let me pull my notes up, which I spent all these time pulling up notes. Spent probably like 6 hours yesterday getting notes together. I haven't even used them yet. Let's see. Where's my Thunder notes at? Let's see. So Thunder, yeah, they got. I mean, anyone's on the table. I mentioned Kenrich Williams. They certainly want to do Al Horford. They certainly would be open to anything. They'd be open to Svi. And like, part of me thinks that they just traded for Svi because shooting wings are more of a commodity these days. So maybe they could flip Svi again and get a second rounder. And Svi's been, pretty good. But yeah, they're probably not going to trade Ty Jerome. They pretty much believe in him. They'll certainly get rid of Mike Muscala for a song. Maybe even get bought out. We'll see if he wants to go somewhere else. But yeah, this team is fully committed to playing younger players. I need to reframe my my page here. Move up the old questions. My voice doesn't sound like how I'd imagine. I don't know if that's good. He says no shade, but it's all good. Yep. Yeah, I'm not. It's mostly the voice, as Guru would say. I don't think I have that. So, but it's okay. I'm not. Unlike my 19-year-old self, I know my days of being in hip hop are done. I used to make beats when I was like 20. Shout out Fruity Loops. But yeah, okay. So let's get back to what I was planning to do, and kind of go through these games and talk about what we learned yesterday. But yeah, keep the questions coming if you got them. I think we covered most of the Pistons. Yeah, so I guess Dennis Smith Jr. is probably gonna be the starter now. Until Killian gets back. But I think it'll be when Killian gets back, it'll be, I think, like 28-20. Maybe some overlap. Killian's long. So, yeah, something to keep an eye on. Hopefully Wayne Ellington goes away. Frank Jackson lost his mojo yesterday, but he hasn't been great per minute. So, yep, Sadiq Bey is up and down, but I think overall you're going to want some Sadiq Bey. We got a lot of Pistons stuff. So, thanks for the shout-outs, guys. Really appreciate it. Pacers. So lots of trade rumors. We had Yahoo, Vincent Goodwill, who's great, and he's had some gems. He's pretty plugged in on Pistons and Bulls stuff. So I'm like, are the Bulls or somebody else interested there with him? Sabonis or Malcolm Brogdon. We've seen the Miles Turner rumors, Charlotte, Boston before. Maybe he goes. We know this whole Sabonis Turner thing hasn't really worked out, especially this year. And they have Goga, who they like as well, who's pretty talented. So yeah. Other Pacers notes. Aaron Holiday is also on the outs. We've seen him be productive, and man, he had a great game last year when Kemba was just rolling against them. They put Aaron Holiday on the fourth, and he was just ridiculous. But this hasn't happened yet, and it sounds like he's going to get traded today. So I don't think he'll be a stash. He hasn't really been that great per minute. Let's see. That covers that. Let's get to Boston. I did not watch much of this game. I generally don't watch, at least live, the good teams. I like to watch the bad teams, so I'm a sicko. But yeah, so let's talk Boston. And of course, there are trade rumors. So they are in on Aaron Gordon. They are looking for, according to Mark Murphy, it sounds like they're offering a first and a young player. So that young player is probably these fringe guys like Aaron Neesmith, Peyton Pritchard, Carson Edwards, maybe Taco. I don't think that would, maybe Grant Williams. That would be the group. So that plus a pick plus salary filler for Gordon, which it's not bad, depending on how high that pick's going to be. But yeah, so on court stuff. I mean, you could just see, like, we don't forget Tristan Thompson's also not in right now. So we got a little overlap. We got a little overlap with Tice and with Robert Williams. Matchup dependent for sure. So wouldn't read too much into that. And yeah, we need to see a little bit more Jason Tatum getting the volume. You've seen the peripheral stats showing up. I think he's going to get hot. Just need to. Boston's not playing great. They're going to have to play him a lot of minutes. This is good stuff. So yeah, other rumors. Maybe they're in on Fournier. Probably not trading Marcus Smart. They were in on JaVale McGee. That's obviously not happening anymore. And they're also in on Andre Drummond, but they're in on a lot of dudes. Milwaukee, not much going on. They're kind of cornered. They already made their move with PJ Tucker. I think it was a great pickup because they're going to want to use him on Kevin Durant. But yeah, nothing they're going to really do. Looking for buyouts. I think they're kind of stuck with their roster, and it's a pretty good roster. Let's move on to another game. We talked about the Nuggets a little bit, and let's talk more. Let's talk Raptors. We talked about Kyle Lowry's value earlier. Norm Powell, you do not want Norm Powell to get traded if he's on your fantasy team, like, at all. He's good. He's 50, 40, 90-ish. His defense has been awesome. The minutes have been pretty solid overall. Yeah. Wherever he gets traded, it's not going to be good. And they're going to have, according to Mark Stein, he said that it's in the teens of how many teams are after Norm. And, like, why wouldn't it be? Great contract, strong shooting wing, so defender, maybe slightly subpar defender, great transition player. Like, yes, who literally any team would want that. So, he's going to have a demand. He has a great market. He's not getting a lot of most improved player buzz that I've seen, but yeah, I'm into it. So yeah, let's see what else. Okay, so I want to talk about Chris Boucher. So you see 17 minutes, and you see him on the bench, and you see Pascal Siakam, who got into a verbal spat with Nick Nurse, and it was apparently personal with more than curse words, according to Michael Grange. Great story from him. So if Lowry gets traded, besides and Norm gets traded, and they don't get somebody who can compete with a Boucher-like role, like, Boucher is the winner here. They can't run this starting lineup because Kyle Lowry can guard Jason Tatum's and all these big dudes. So, man, if you could somehow get Chris Boucher from maybe somebody who doesn't understand that, like, at least try. Be like, hey, Chris Boucher has been bad because he kind of has been. Well, not bad, but, like, Kyle Lowry, they're going to tank. Like, Chris Boucher is going to smash when Kyle Lowry gets traded. So, something to think about. Like, Ben, like, I don't care about these dudes, They're just not good per minute. Malachi Flynn's fun, but he's not there yet. Siakam would be better. I don't think Nick Nurse would be into tanking like that, so I think Siakam would gain value. Hopefully doesn't sit out. Hopefully doesn't fight with him again. Oh yeah, would Maxey start if Lowry gets traded? Probably. I don't think he would get big minutes though. Like, he wouldn't get a big role, so I wouldn't really. That's pretty far. Like, Maxey's not getting playing. Like, what was it? That game when everybody was out. and like Maxi barely played like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. So that's kind of scary. But yeah, get some questions. Speaking of Boston, yeah, rumors about Tristan Thompson. So there's a report that like he's not liked in the locker room, but Jaylen Brown tweeted out the blue cap, which to the old not hip people like myself. We got a tweet here. Oh yeah, we got. Oh boy, we got a trade. All right. So, Vooch is getting traded, and it is going to be for. We'll see Chicago. Oh my god, dude, this is going to be a big one. So it's going to be probably Wendell Carter Jr. Yep, Wendell Carter Jr. 2 first-round picks. Oh boy. All right. So this is great for Wendell Carter Jr. Big time, big time. So if Wendell Carter Jr. is on your waiver wire right now, I'd pick him up. Vooch, I still think this is going to be good. This is going to hurt. Drew Bulls fan in our Slack chat is not happy, but dude, I can't believe. So Orlando's going to clean house today, man. And Otto. Okay, oh my god, Otto Porter Jr. also going there, dude. Woo, boy, this is hard to do live on camera. Okay, I'm just going to pull up the Orlando box score. I think that'll be easier for me to kind of think through it. Where are you? You beat the Suns yesterday. Okay, so, dude, this is crazy. So we know this is not a finished product yet. They're going to trade Gore, and they're probably going to trade Fournier. But like I said, Wendell Carter Jr. is a huge winner here. He hasn't had a role yet. And yeah, maybe Laurie's done. I'll talk about Chicago in a second. Let me talk about Orlando, let me talk about Chicago first, because they're probably more of a finished product now. Yeah, Lauri Markkanen probably getting traded too, I think. Like, it doesn't make sense now that Vooch can shoot the 3. It doesn't really work like that. People texting me if I'm live. Yes, I am. If you're listening, no. But yeah, so Patrick Williams, maybe he gets a little bit more playing time. And yeah, this would hurt Levine a little bit because you're talking about Vooch, who's a pretty high volume guy. But I mean, this is crazy, dude. I did not think Vooch was getting traded today. So pardon my befuddlement. Yeah, would I drop Wendell Carter Jr. for Poku? Yes. Moses Brown or Wendell Carter Jr. Like, that's how close it is. I feel like I would probably take Moses Brown just because he's been good. Wendell Carter Jr. has not. So, but Wendell Carter Jr. is like, dude, this is huge for him. Huge for him. Going closer to home too, so maybe that's good. But Otto Porter maybe on the move again. Worth an ad. I think maybe his contract's not that great, so it's almost like roster filler. So I think Otto Porter Jr. is a pretty good winner here too. If Wendell's kind of gone, yeah, Thad's a loser. It's just losers everywhere because Vooch is such a good player. Like Satoransky's fine. We'll see if the Bulls have more moves down the pipeline. Dude, this is crazy. Yeah, Al-Farouq Aminu. Maybe the Al-Farouq Aminu game swayed him. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't think Aminu's really a pickup. He'll kind of get fringe minutes. But yeah, so the winners. And Vooch-wise, I mean, so again, this is in the context of like his role till now. He's a little bit of a loser. He has to compete with Zach LaVine. His second unit can compete a little bit more for shots, but that's fine. Like, this is a win, though. You'd rather have Vooch on the Bulls with maybe a 90% of value versus him on the Magic with likely to sit out games and tank. Like, so in that context, he's a pretty big win. But yeah, Wendell Carter Jr. and Isaac, that's gonna be fun, dude. I love that deal from the Magic. I think Wendell Carter Jr. could be really good. So they got they'll have more money on the table. I thought that Vooch contract was kind of weird when it went down. Like last year, I thought Vooch was getting traded. So if you guys, I think let's see what we got here. I don't know how this is gonna look as far as like them in the standings, but Nick Carnasova's got his Vooch got his Nikola. He was got the Jokic man, so that was pretty dope. If I'm forgetting something on this trade that you want me to break down, let me know. Like Kobe White has been very bad. This doesn't help him. You're getting a higher volume guy in the mix, but Yeah, so the guys going to the Magic are winners. Wendell Carter Jr. is probably going to be the big winner of the day. Would I drop Mason for Wendell Carter Jr.? If he's your worst player and he's not helping you a lot, yeah, I definitely would. I'm a big Wendell Carter Jr. guy. So, yep. KJ Martin or Poku for the rest of the season, like it's got to be Poku. Like we've seen KJ Martin kind of just be so-so. Maybe things will open up for him, but I think Poku is just more talented. We need some Dink Vucci analysis. Yes, we will get some. So if you missed this, I'm pumped for this. Me, Dink, and Wiggins, we're gonna just hop on at 2:30 Eastern and just like spit out takes like right now. Where like I'm confused by myself. It's gonna be the three of us, and probably me more, as like Wiggins and Dink are super smart. So yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I'm really excited, and like just for me, if you don't know me and you're new to me, like I worked at Roto-World or whatever they're calling it now, and I would just write blurbs all day. So this is kind of cool to just ramble about stuff. Drop Clarkson for Auto. I don't think so. Auto's gonna get managed, so it's a bad team, right? So pick up Wendell Carter Jr. for Robert Williams. Yes, his role is aces, man. Um, so yeah, just for like they're not going to trade Wendell Carter Jr. I don't think. I didn't think they were going to trade Vooch, but I mean, look at Ken Birch is also getting traded. Mo Bamba is capped on minutes. Like that was obviously a bad pick. He may get traded today. Like it's open season on Magic. So yeah, I drop Melton, Tate, or KPJ for. I would drop probably Melton. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna drop Melton. I like Melton. He's great, but like the matter of the fact that he's. Thanks for the. I mean, dude, Aminu, man. If you played Aminu the other day, like, oh, dude, you're a genius. Anybody who played him, or you're just really lucky. Probably the latter. But so yeah, I would probably like. D'Anthony Melton is so tricky, dude. Like again, I meant this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, if you think if 100 people or if there's 100 people polled and 99 of them think they should play D'Anthony Melton 28 minutes, and the one person who doesn't want to play him is Taylor Jenkins, guess what? He's playing as many minutes as Taylor Jenkins wants to play him. So that's the thing. Like that's the thing with Robert Williams and Melton. Like they're not getting minutes. They're not going to get minutes. Like they want to play Grayson Allen. They want to play all these other guys. So like Melton's great, and when he gets those opportunities, he's just gonna crush. So, but it just doesn't happen enough. Chuma Okeke, there's a good question. Okay, so they're not going to trade Okeke. Let's talk a little bit more Orlando. So Okeke had a good game yesterday. All 6 of 6, 4 for 4 from threes. I think that's I think he's going to be good. So they got more guys to clear out. I think Fournier is getting traded. Obviously, Gordon's going to get traded today. Porter's going to fill his minutes. Porter will probably play a lot of 3, a little bit of 4. They want to play Chuma at the 4, which Steve Clifford's been saying. They were playing at 3 because they were missing so many guys and James Ennis and so on and so on. But they might trade James Ennis. So I actually have Chuma on one of my teams because he had a back-to-back. And I was like, okay, back-to-back, play him. This is pretty deep. I was like, all right, so back-to-back Thursday, and I could figure it out. So I don't think you need to add him yet, but definitely keep an eye on him. Yeah, like I said, Bamba's not really a great pickup. I think I got most of these questions. Yeah, Bulls fans should be pretty pumped, man. Vooch is good. Vooch is really freaking good. But yeah, Wendell's good too. I think Wendell's going to be good. He's been disappointing. Oh man, that was a way bigger. I thought we were gonna get like these little baby trades, 2nd-round picks for like Ken Riches and that stuff. But no, we get the biggest trade of the day when I'm not prepared. Yep. So yeah, if you got any more questions on any of these dudes, I think I covered most of it. But yeah, like I said, we're unfinished product with the Magic. Michael Carter Williams, if he gets a bigger role, could be good. Cole Anthony's still not back yet. Still a couple weeks away, it sounds like. So yeah. Whew. Need a cigarette after that one. Smoking's bad. Don't do it. Where were we? We were at the Suns, I think. Oh, we got a trade rumor. Michael Scotto, awesome stuff from him. Is saying the Celtics offered. This is what I was saying. Yep. Aaron Nesmith, Romeo Langford as part of their package for Aaron Gordon. This is exactly what I was saying earlier. So there's some specifics. Cool. Oh yeah, Suns, dude, you dropped this one, bro. What happened? But Aiden's playing better. So Aiden, I want to talk about Aiden for a sec. Monty Williams had some interesting comments, as did Devin Booker and Chris Paul like a few weeks ago. They want to get Ayton going. I've said this so many times. If the Suns are going to be good, Ayton has to play good to great. If that happens, like possible championship. Hot take. Trade wise, they need. So getting Torrey Craig was kind of big. Like he hasn't played great, but they need that second unit wing defender against like your Jordan Clarksons and those dudes. I think it can be pretty helpful. Where do you rank the Bulls in the standings if they get Lonzo? I don't think they're gonna get Lonzo now, but yeah. Tim Reynolds says the expectation is multiple clubs expect Aaron Gordon to be traded. No doy. Drop Zubats for Wendell Carter. Yeah, I would do it. Serge is kind of out indefinitely, but yeah, I'm with that. Drop Laurie for Nance or Wendell. Yeah, I would pick Wendell. Like Nance is great yesterday, but I would pick up Wendell, man. I feel comfortable about his role more so than Larry Nance, who's possibly getting traded today. So, like, if Nance is on your waiver wire right now, like, take the guy who has the role, right? I'm apparently convinced that Wendell's getting 28 minutes. So, yeah, I'm in that. Let's see here. Yep. Trading Wendell for Mitch. Nah, you're good. The only thing that would undo trading Wendell for Mitch Robinson, I still would rather have Mitch. Played great in the last game, came off the bench. The only thing that will undo Mitch would be Drummond. And what a Nixian thing to do if they do that, right? Like, dude, please don't do that. Like, you're better than that, Knicks. You've grown up. You've learned through your mistakes. You're not going to pick up Andre Drummond and cut into freaking Mitch Robinson. But you never know. Never know at the Knicks. Yeah, so like I was saying, man, I am all over the place. The Suns, I think they need another big. Like I think playing Dario Saric with a paint kind of a screeny, 1-5 pick and roll guy will be helpful. Obviously, if they can improve Cameron Payne, I think that will be helpful. But they like him. Monty Williams really likes Cameron Payne. He's known him for a little bit. So, but they're good. They could play Chris Paul a bunch. Booker's going to play a ton in the playoffs. Crowder's been great fit. Yeah, I talked about Chuma a minute ago. It depends. Like, okay, like they're not a finished product, and Chuma's been disappointing. Like his stats in Auburn were sick, but they haven't really been there yet. So like, he's pretty low on the stash list. Like, Nickeil Alexander-Walker's pretty high. He'd be pretty low. But I mean, this team's gonna miss so many dudes, man. Like we may see Kareem Maine have fantasy value by the time this team is done today. But yeah, losing they're like all of his competition for minutes is going to be going away. So maybe I'm under. So I was high on Chuma in the preseason, but just hasn't been that great. So yeah, definitely a pickup for sure, depending on how deep you are. Okay, back to notes again. Questions, keep them coming. Going on 45 minutes. I don't know how long this is going to go. By the way, I'm just going to kind of go through all I got. But that Vooch thing threw me for a loop. Other stuff. I get like a million notifications on my phone. It's stupid, which annoys everyone who's around me all the time. So, yeah, surprised that Vooch went for that big dub. Yeah, for sure, man. Poku or Gallo. Honestly, if it's your worst player, I want the upside. I want Pokuševski. That's me. Would I rather stash Monte Morris for Killian Hayes? Like, it's obviously Killian Hayes. I want the upside. I think Monte's fine. I think he's going to play good minutes, but I love the mystery box. I'll take the mystery box every time if I think that Monte Morris, like Monte could have value if like things shake up, but this is Jokic. He's like the number like 8 offensive player, especially with MPJ shooting the ball great now. Back to the notes. Where were we? We are at. I am bad at this. Got the Nuggets. Could just go through here. Okay, there's a request for talking some Hawks. All right, let's do it. You guys can just point me in the right direction for any of these games. So John Collins is being used more by Nate McMillan. They're running more post-ups with him. That's great. They're not running as much pick and roll stuff, which is bad. But yeah, I think that John Collins is kind of trending up. So the rumors on John Collins are what Zach Lowe said 60-40. He's staying. Brad Townsend of the Morning News said that a source told him it's 70-30 he's staying. We saw Woj say yesterday that he's probably staying. So He's probably staying. I would think. I don't know how to handle that restricted free agency. I thought I was going to use this more, the spot track stuff, but nope, not using it yet. I guess we can. Let's use it now. Let's use it now. Let's talk some Hawks contracts. This website's awesome. Like this, like during free agency and deadline time, like the traffic this site gets today must be like so killer. But what did I do wrong? I didn't do it right. Oh, I don't want positional group. I want the roster, dude. What? All right, not working. I'm not gonna do it anymore. That was all ready for that. Yeah, you missed the Bulls Magic breakdown trade. Pick up Wendell Carter Jr. Maybe pick up Otto if you're feeling frisky. So okay, no contracts, but yeah, maybe great game, revenge game, man. Shout out to Mark and the ETR Slack operation stuff. He kills it on the projections. He wanted to play Bogdan in revenge game. Got 32 minutes, man. That's dope. Yeah, I mean, I like it it's a good trade. Matt saying that he likes it for the. I mean, I like the trade too. They're not going anywhere for a while, man. Grab a Snickers. Grab a Snickers and grab Wendell Carter Jr. You're not going anywhere for a while. So yeah, this seems bad. So they got to rebuild. So I think it's a good move for them too. Like by the time Vucevic's contract's up, they're still gonna be bad. So yep. Markel Fultz isn't there yet. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. That's so. Question from Irvin here. Yeah, I talked about that kind of in the open. Like Lowry's going to lose value, and he's going to go to, I think, Miami first, and then Philly. So, trading John Collins for Booker, yeah, I think it's pretty fair. I think Collins has been pretty like right now. Selling high on him it's fair. Booker's playing better now. Collins playing better now, and you do have a little bit baked in value of Clint Capella getting hurt. So actually, let me talk DeAndre Hunter. He was like, if you didn't look at the shooting, like the 1 of 7, I thought he was good. Like he had some really big defensive impact, moved around pretty well. Sure, they lost this game, and don't forget he was like top 50 before he got hurt. So I think DeAndre Hunter's gonna have a pretty good finish to his season. Kevin Huerter's minutes going to come down. If you were starting Tony Snell in a 100-man fantasy league, you can drop him now. But yeah, sounds like the Hawks aren't going to be too busy. Anything going on here? I think I have like 125 people on notifications. If anyone cares about that, that's probably more. Let's see here. Who haven't we talked about yet? Talked a little bit about the Cavs. So it's okay. Let's talk a little more Cavs. So I mentioned if you had Larry Nance, like you do not want him to get traded. Look at this freaking roll, man. 34 minutes. He got center minutes yesterday. 14 rebounds. Like, oh my God. Like this is like the most. Oh God, this would be like breakup sex, dude. Like if you have Larry Nance and he does this for you and then he gets traded, like, dude, it's over. Sexland, the Sexland breakup sex. We had the all land, no sex yesterday. And Garland looked great. So, and Drew nailed this on the show yesterday, which is absolutely true. The Garland and Allen connection is legit. So those games that Sexton misses, like you dial up Garland, Allen all day. Dude. So DFS, I had this sick lineup, man. I had this game stacked. I had the Hawks and Kings game stacked, and I was all like, oh, I love my lineups, man. The hard news comes, and I faded the early games. So I was like, all right, wait for the hard news, and then kind of adjust. Hopefully, he's playing. Like, dude, and then it all went away. I switched all to Luka. I switched it just went. I still won, but I didn't. I would have probably won bigger. But yeah, I guess Isaac Okoro's we're talking about. He's been playing a little bit better. He's shooting better. His defensive stats are pretty good. We know he's going to play a lot. He's not that good of a defender, but they want him to be, so they trust him. So he's certainly not in the Garland, Sexton, Nance tier, but I think his role is going to be pretty good. Like he has a good role. He's just not great per minute. Dean Wade's super low key. I mean, especially if Nance gets traded. Talk about a guy who could be a sneaky pickup. I think he could be a guy that they look at. Yeah, the Magic are tanking, according to some reports here. So not a finished product yet. Let's see. We got Garland or Derek White. I'd probably rather take Garland, man. I'm pretty sold on Garland. I think Derek White's really good too, so it's pretty close. Like both those guys should certainly be on your rosters. And okay, so let me take that again. If DeMar DeRozan gets traded, then I want Derek White. If he doesn't, I want Garland. So I'm gonna take that route. Let's see here. 2 first rounders, man, for that deal. That's a good trade. That's a good trade for the Magic. And they're giving up a big man. Man, I can't get over that. I cannot. It's crazy to me. There were like so many reports. So if that happened, maybe we're gonna get some fireworks, man. Because like this is one of the least buzziest trade deadlines I've ever seen, at least in my 10 years of covering basketball. So we'll see if more is on the way. Let's see what else we got. Nothing really going on rumors wise. Yeah, if I haven't talked about a team I'm going to talk about, hit me up. But I think we covered these guys. We did those. Talked about Denver a little bit. Let's talk about Denver a little bit more. I think they're worth talking about. Where are my notes? I should have done this better notes wise. It's like 8 pages of like just stuff. I'm really bad at organizing notes. So I talked about Kenrich. I talked about if they're going to make a big deal, if they're going to make a small deal, we're probably talking Zeke Naji, maybe Bol, maybe RJ Hampton. I don't think they trade PJ Dozier because Malone really likes him. So kind of all those dudes. If they make a big deal, if they make a monster. So the only way this man, Michael Porter Jr., is getting traded, there's only one man in the universe that Michael Porter Jr. will get traded for. That man is a Washington Wizard, Bradley Beal. I think that's the only possible way they would ever trade Michael Porter Jr. And I don't think it's going to happen. All the rumors are Bradley Beal's not going anywhere. So if they're going in for like maybe they go after Lonzo, maybe they go after who else are they linked to? Or my notes. Yeah. Talk about the Mavs. I will. But yeah, they're like I said, they're going to want a bigger wing, or they're going to want maybe a secondary ball handler or something like that to take a little pressure off those dudes. But more defense. Like they need, they're like JaVale McGee, pretty good defender. Like they don't care about offense. They've got plenty of it. So if they're going to be able to trade Barton or Harris or some of those dudes to get somebody back who could help them, like Lonzo, maybe Lonzo works, which would be bad for his value. That'd be something to keep in mind. But like I was saying, like all these dudes, these are maybe they trade Bol. Like, and the thing about Mike Malone, and if you had Michael Porter Jr. last year, you kind of learned this. Like until you learn his system, you're on thin ice. So now that Porter Jr. is kind of getting it, he's kind of getting that volume and playing time and not getting the short leash as much anymore. So all these younger dudes got to go through the motions, which Zeke Naji is getting more playing time early. Like that's awesome for him, despite not being great. Jackson, Alonzo is a bull. I mean, dude, that's gonna be tough after all the stuff they just gave up. But Laurie, they got to get more. Like with how poorly Laurie has been playing, like San Antonio's probably not as interested. New Orleans is probably not as interested. It's gonna be crazy. The market for Alonzo. It sounds like he's gone. Like the Knicks could be fun. Let's talk Charlotte. I haven't talked Charlotte yet. So rumors wise, they could be in on John Collins, Rashawn Holmes, and Miles Turner. Obviously, they're playing Bismack Biyombo because they wanted continuity. Got a little Zeller action yesterday. Returned from shoulder bursitis. But yeah, Malik Monk, hot late. Didn't play at all in the first quarter. Still gets 24 minutes. Shoots the ball well. I locked and loaded. I played mostly FanDuel for a couple reasons. I know how bad their pricing is, and I'm not going to get into that. Shout out to Wiggins. But I played Monk and Dort everywhere, and that was how I started my lineups yesterday, which is why I kind of did okay. But yeah, Monk's role's legit. I think he's going to be pretty solid. They're going to close with PJ at the 5 a lot. This game was a blowout. The Rockets are not good. I'll talk about the Rockets in a second too. Oh, there we go. We got more Orlando. The Orlando flea market. or yard sale or whatever you want to call it, man. They're gonna get. So Woj says that Boston's in serious talks to acquire Evan Fournier. Talked about that earlier. Um, that would obviously be bad for Evan Fournier. Boston wise, it would. So if he went, they'd be trading. Like I said, these Aaron Neesmiths of the world, these Carson Edwards, and they're pretty much just tanking. Like they'll take whatever they can get, whatever the best offer is. So he's going to go away. But yeah, Evan Fournier, like this is going to put Kareem Maine in the rotation. And we'll see if James Ennis gets traded. They may sign some two-way guys, some 10-day guys, et cetera, et cetera. But we'll see who else they can get back. Chuma certainly would benefit. Chase and Randall could play next to Michael Carter Williams. We know Carter Williams could guard twos, so that will be a beneficiary. But this team is not a finished product yet, man. Kemba needs to go. Yeah, he kind of does. He's been like disappointing. That knee, man. I don't know. I don't know if they realize that. Like when Kemba was getting those knee scopes every year after the season, like what do you think was going to happen? So, yep. I think. Yeah, Orlando, we could kind of put on the back burner. It's just like Kareem Maine's pretty good. He had some good G League stats, but Bacon would be a beneficiary for sure. Probably right now, Bacon would be a beneficiary, but Bacon's not that great. Pretty quiet per minute. That will change because he's going to have to shoot the ball more. But yeah, Michael Carter Williams, I think like that. Happy Orlando Magic Day. I need a good line. My yard sale. What is it? But downtown Disney Springs, like they got all those sales going on right now. But yeah. So the Boston side, I mean, this would just solidify their rotation more. He'd be like their bench man. He'd be filling in these minutes for Jeff Teague, Grant Williams. They'd be able to run pretty tight. So I don't think they're going to be. There we go. Yeah, he's going to be traded. I mean that. The wording of trades, you kind of like understand how it's going to go down because the reporters want to be first on it. So, yep. Okay, so that means I think the big takeaway for me is like Kemba's minutes are coming down. Kemba is not going to play these mid-30s. They didn't want to play him over 30 earlier, and now they're doing it because they're playing so poorly. So now they have somebody like Evan Fournier instead of Jeff Teague, Payton Pritchard, Aaron Neesmith, who was supposed to be the guy. Like, oh man, Brad Stevens had a quote the other day. He was like, "Yeah, we don't really know who our next guy is going to be." Well, they got their answer now. So, it'll just take a little cap off these guys. You won't see these 37s, 35s, 38s. So we'll get time there. Semi Ojeleye is going to go bye-bye. He got hurt yesterday. Grant Williams is going to go bye-bye. Robert Williams also slightly affected. We're not going to see as much of this Tice Robert Williams stuff. So certainly Fournier would be a drop. Like he's not going to get volume anymore. So he needs volume. He's not a great defensive guy, not big for assists. So, just a little upside cap on your star Celtics, but nothing to panic about. Besides Kemba, I think Kemba is probably the biggest loser from the Boston just because he needs to be managed more. Yep, talking some Fournier for sure. Questions? Anyone think Al Horford gets traded? Oklahoma wants to trade him bad, real bad, but it's just tough to trade that contract. Are you going to pay that kind of dough for a backup center on a good team? I mean, you kind of can't. We saw what happened with the Joel Embiid stuff. Sorry, reading and thinking and talking about basketball apparently is one too many things for me to do. Question, end of the roster, Nickeil Alexander. So, again, it's hard to Disneyland downsize. Nice. It was Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Isaiah Stewart, Baisley, Seth Curry. I mean, it's just so different. Like, I hate this because I don't know. I don't know how you want to play it out. Like, if this is their last guy, like, sure, you want to stash Baisley, great. If you want to hope Nickeil Alexander-Walker gets thrown into a role, great. Isaiah Stewart's fine. So, I mean, in a nutshell right now, if those guys are all on the waiver wire and I got to make a move, I'm picking up I'm picking up Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I'm hoping it goes down. And then if it doesn't, just cut him for somebody else. So I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is the guy that has to be kind of This is after the Wendell Carter, as far as like guessing goes. Like we don't need to guess on Wendell Carter Jr. anymore. Wendell Carter Jr. should have a pretty good role. All right, Houston. Okay, so what the hell, Christian Wood? Why are you not shooting enough? 21.6 usage rate. So I had a great line to a friend yesterday that I was really proud of. So John Wall, you may have missed it in the news. He told Steven Silas he loves him. So I said that John Wall is just telling Steven Silas he loves him so he could cheat on his offense. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. But he cheated on his offense, dude. Like, why are you not passing to Christian Wood? Why are you not running pick and roll? Why are you not hitting the open dudes? Why are you not doing this stuff? Like, this is what the offense is. And like John Wall, a month ago was like, oh yeah, I don't have enough guys to throw lobs to when they were running PJ Tucker and so. Like, dude, throw the ball to Christian Wood in the paint, man. Throw it up high. This dude could get everything. So I don't know, maybe salty yesterday, but Wall's going to get managed. Like I mentioned, Kevin Porter Jr., dude, he's going to have a huge second half. We're assuming Depot's going to get traded. But, yeah. Daniel House has been pretty good defensively. And actually, shout out to me. I said that Gordon Hayward was going to get shut down in matchups. Subscribe to ETR now. Promo code NBA33. But, yeah. They like Sterling Brown a lot. Not great per minute, but Steven Silas freaking loves Sterling Brown, so he'll get playing time. Kind of be low key DFS punty kind of a guy. But yeah, getting to Jayshawn Tate. Let's talk about him now. I think he's good. They like him on 4s. They use him at the 5. They use him at the 3. They use him everywhere. And we've seen he can play big minutes. So if they could clear out this roster a little bit, like especially if Daniel House goes away, man. Tate's going to have such huge playing time. There's our Knicks injury report. Ooh, no Bullock today. Elfrid Payton probable. Can't believe they played Elfrid Payton yesterday. Yeah. So KJ Martin got playing time. He's so good defensively, man. Certainly a guy that, he's worth stashing too. Like, if you don't think you could beat people to the waiver wire, I think KJ Martin's a pretty good pickup. I think that covers the Rockets. Didn't talk Dallas. Someone wanted to talk Dallas. Dude, Luka, man, killing me, Smalls. Bad game. Didn't score until like midway through the second quarter. Just total disaster. Kristaps killed the Wolves, which we kind of saw coming. I thought Tim Hardaway Jr. got ejected. He got called for attack, and he went in the locker room. Was like, oh, I thought he got called for 1. It was really weird. But nope, didn't get ejected. Came back, killed it. Big comeback. Jalen Brunson had some big minutes. Little aided by garbage time, but he's good. But the problem is his minutes are inconsistent. And Dorian Finney-Smith has been pretty good. There was some trade rumors on him, but I don't think they're going to really be into that. Sorry, just reading some news. Yep. Let's see what we got. Yeah. So how about J Rich, actually? Let me pull up his game log, man. He's been freaking good. So J Rich, I don't know if you guys I use ESPN for like kind of the easy stuff. But their splits are really cool. So his post look at that freaking post All-Star break line right there, man. 14 points, 3.3 assists, 0.8 blocks, 1.1 steals, 1.9 threes, 53% from the field, 89% from the line. Like, God damn. This is the J Rich we wanted. This is preseason J Rich, baby. So I'm feeling good about him. He'll cool off, but this is exactly who you wanted to see with J Rich balling. Yeah, Maxi Kleber is kind of boring, but I don't think they're going to make much of. I don't think they have much to do. What did I write for them on notes? Let's see here. I got they're in on Rashawn Holmes, which would be crazy. Him and Kristaps would be pretty fun together. And then no more Porzingis rumors. That's pretty much it. So Rashawn Holmes would be nuts, man. That would hurt Maxi Kleber, which you're not really using anyways, and wouldn't really affect too many other guys. Kristaps just a tick. He wouldn't get as many of the pick and roll stuff as kind of like how John Collins got affected by Capella. It would be kind of the same thing. Traded Fournier, Covington, and Noel for Derek White, Oubre, and Claxton. Yeah, you killed that trade, man. That was Yeah, I think Covington's good, but he's definitely won that trade. Wolves, my fit dude. I started freaking Jaden McDaniels because I'm an idiot, but I still won, so I wasn't that dumb. Uh, do I think Holmes would work defensively with KP? Yeah, I think so. Holmes is freaking good. I think that they can kind of do that dual rim protection thing and kind of cut KP's minutes back a little bit. Um, it would be probably Holmes playing more up than KP because I think Holmes is better in space. So I think they can make it work. Um, yeah, Holmes is just amazing. I think anybody works with him. So Minnesota, I started Jaden McDaniels yesterday, and he didn't burn me. Thank you, baby Jesus. Got a steal on a block, had a couple real nice putbacks. This dude, he guarded Luca great. Picks up some fouls. This is why I like him. This is why he's off the board. He's good, man. He can play the three, he can play the four. Josh Okogie was out. They were going to start him and Josh Okogie, but Okogie got scratched late, and Vanderbilt got thrown into the mix. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good game for McDaniels. Anthony Edwards got real hot late, kind of when the game didn't count, when the game was over. So that 29 is a little misleading. Vandy and McDaniels, I mean, it's McDaniels. Like, I mean, you're finding out right now that they don't like that Vanderbilt that much. Vanderbilt might get traded today, too. So I've been hoping for months now that the Wolves do something to free up Jade McDaniels. Please do it. So yeah, Wancho got a bunch. Yeah, Wancho actually had a funny quote yesterday. He was like, "What do you think of the trade deadline?" He's like, "Oh, we're in last. Usually, teams in last make trades." So that's pretty funny. Gotta love the honest truth. Will you be able to watch the whole thing? Yeah, man. YouTube. Go to our YouTube page. Subscribe. If you're watching this on Twitter or Periscope, and you listen to Three Ball on Pods, if you could do me a huge favor and just like subscribe on our YouTube, I don't even care if you watch it, but like if you could subscribe, that'd be super dope. But yeah, back to the Wolves. 48 trade helped us. Yeah, it helps the Celtics. Like I was saying, you're going to be upgrading from your Grant Williams minutes to Jeff Teague minutes and all those minutes to Evan Fournier minutes, which are good minutes. He's a pretty good, solid NBA player. I think BC has a minutes limit when he comes back. This is what we're talking about. I talked about it a little bit in the open-ish, that the problem is you cannot play Rubio, D'Lo, Anthony Edwards, and Beasley all together. Just can't do it. Like, they're just so bad. Is Beasley an ad? I'm sorry. Is Terrence Ross an ad? Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't run to Adam right now. I think he might get traded. So, if you have unlimited moves, then sure, add him. But if you're capped a little bit, like I wouldn't, he's probably getting traded too, right? So, like I was saying, like just D'Lo can't play D. Anthony Edwards can't play D. Malik Beasley can't play D. Ricky Rubio can't play D. Karl-Anthony Towns is kind of like, how many points do you want to give up a game? I get that it's an offense for a system, but so Malik Beasley, like I was saying earlier, like we're probably talking 17-ish, 18-ish usage rate, which is not quite the same as where it was when he was humming. So, that mid-round value that we saw, Rubio drop Rubio. If you see somebody is a pickup, drop Rubio. He's going to go away. We saw. I'm assuming Chris Finch doesn't like Rubio a lot. He's playing him a pretty good bit, and we know Cat kind of talked up Rubio. Fear level of a Cat shutdown. I talk about this all the time on the pods. It's high. He is the highest shutdown risk in the NBA among the star players. It's not close. It almost sounds like a lock. He's going to need the arthroscopic surgery on his wrist or something along those lines. You saw the other night, like his wrist is killing him. So, yeah, I mean, this team's bad. Worst team in the NBA. Player playing through an injury. Like, how much concern do you need that Cat's getting shut down? So, yeah. I talked about Chuma a little bit earlier. Yeah, I'm into it. I wish he played better, but yep. Big Nas, yeah, Nas is a stash. They've been playing them together a little bit too. So, not last night, but certain matchups they play them against each other. And if Vanderbilt goes away or somebody else goes away, then yeah, I mean, the fact that he's open to playing Nas and Cat together should give you enough reason to have him on your list. I don't know how long your list is. Like if your league's super deep, your list may not be that long. If you're in a shallow league, your list is just ridiculous. So, yep. Jared Culver maybe gets traded today. Just been really bad. One of the Wolves beats was saying that trading him to like Texas where he's from could maybe be a good thing to kind of get him going because he's just been what a rough pick that was. It looked like it was so good, right? They had like the Dario Saric trade for Cameron Johnson and all that, and turns out like the Suns won that trade just because Culver's been so bad. Yeah, Jalen Noel's gonna go away. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, like if you have Ruby on your team and like Wendell Carter Jr.'s there or somebody else who's gonna be hot, like yeah, dude, that upside's gonna go away. Like you're talking about what if we're being light, 65 minutes per game at positions he's competing for, coming back into the mix. Like, come on. Yeah, he's definitely gonna go away. So yeah, I'm definitely good with proactively dropping Rubio. We didn't talk Spurs yet. Let's talk a little Spurs. I'll talk some Clippers too. Terrence freaking Mann. My thing opened up kind of weird. Okay, don't want to work for me. All right, go away. Okay, so Spurs. Trey Lyles requested a trade reportedly. They're probably trading one of, or two, or three of Patty Mills, Rudy Gay, and maybe DeMar. Hopefully DeMar. So that'll leave him at some point with Derek White, DeJounte Murray, Keldon Johnson, core. Luka Šamanić, man. Great game from him yesterday. Kind of stepped into a pretty good role. More of a 4. Can play some 3. Maybe you play him as a stretch 5 and down the line if he can bulk up a little bit. But pretty talented dude. I'm stashing him in my 30-man league in case they clean house. I think he's a pretty talented dude. I've seen him play well in certain spots that has my attention. But yeah, Jakob Poeltl. So let me pull up Jakob Poeltl's game log. I get so many questions about dropping him. I don't get it. I mean, look at just the blocks, man. Look at these blocks. Like you can't. 1.5 blocks is not. It's hard to come by. Shoots the ball great from the field. He's a bad free throw shooter, sure. Not, 9 boards a game. Like that's good stuff. Sure, he fouls out. He's playing close to 30 minutes a game. Maybe he gets more usage when DeMar goes away. Like you got to keep him out there for sure. Knox on the market, yeah. God, what a bad pick that was, man. Kevin freaking Knox. Like the fact that Kevin Knox can't get minutes over some of the guys he's not getting minutes for, it's rough. And man, he was bad last year. He hasn't gotten any better. Bad pick. I think that covers them. What other notes do I have on the Spurs? Yeah, they were in on Markkanen a while ago, reportedly. So we'll see if that happens. But like Markkanen's value is so down right now. Something to keep an eye on that. Clippers, dude, I want Terrence Mann to take Reggie Jackson's minutes, all of them. Man's been so good. So you can't really pull the trigger on that. But we'll see if they make a move. Maybe someone trades for Terrence Mann today. Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, Kawhi was great. Marcus Morris has been playing pretty much better. It seems like Ty Lue likes him a lot more than Nicholas Batum, who was a pretty obvious sell-high candidate with how well he was shooting catch and shoot stuff. Yep. All right, I think I'm going to kind of wind down here. If you got any questions, definitely fire them out before I jam. Who didn't we talk about yet? We talked about everybody there. What's up with Paul George? I mean, Paul George struggled, man. He just goes through games where he's going to be up and down, and you got to deal with that. He'll get hot eventually. Didn't we talk about the Grizzlies side? Talked about the Thunder, but Brandon Clark's impact last night was insane, man. Like he had 5 blocks. They were not your like chip blocks. Like it was like, get this garbage out of my face. You think you can try to sneak past me? You cannot. Keldon Johnson rest of the season. Yeah, I love Keldon. You got to keep him on your roster until this trade stuff goes down. Great rebounder. Blah 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 blah. Open on DeLon Wright. Drop him. Drop him for anybody. Drop him for Chuma. He's going to go away. Halliburton's going to play a bunch. Any chance none will be worth it in 12 teamers? Yeah, man. I definitely think so. I think he's worth stashing if he goes to like Miami would want to trade Kendrick Nunn more than anything. I would like relative to their value. Like if they're trading for Kyle Lowry, you're getting a point guard back. So, you'd want to get a point guard back. Oh. Will Jaren Jackson Jr. ever return? Okay, so how much time should we talk about this? 30 seconds or a minute or 2 or 3? So timeline wise, everybody, myself included, thought that Jaren Jackson quote with Mark Spears was like, "It'll sneak up on you. I'm coming back soon." Like that was like All-Star break. Like that was the thing. He was ramping up. They spent all February like, "Oh, he's ramping up February." Like, okay, why are you ramping up in February if you're going to play him in April? So, like, to me, something happened. They haven't said that. They're being pretty shady on that. Don't call him. Someone's calling me. So, yeah, I think Jaren Jackson hopefully comes back. I don't know, though. I don't feel great about it. And he's going to have a lot of minutes restrictions on him. It's tough. It's just tough waiting for Jaren Jackson Jr. But I think he'll make it back. But it's probably like close to 50-50. But DeMarcus Cousins had the little video of him putting out stuff. It'd be nice to see some DeMarcus Cousins in my life. Yeah, how will Fournier affect the center minutes? I kind of talked about that earlier. Like it's going to hurt them a little bit. They're not going to be able to run those double center lineups like the Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice. Those minutes are going to go away when he comes back. Like it's going to get real tight. Hopefully Boston can, clear somebody out. Maybe I don't think they would trade Tice. I don't think they would trade Tristan. They're not going to get a market for Tristan Thompson. So yeah, the Grizzlies, they're trying to trade somebody. So if you know the Grizzlies, they run 10 men out all the time. And right now the odd man out has been Xavier Tillman, which, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, Melton just doesn't get playing time, man. They played Grayson Allen. They like Grayson Allen. Grayson played pretty well yesterday. Dylan Brooks has been pretty good. Like I hate Dylan Brooks, not as far as like his basketball talent. Good dude, funny dude, and I enjoy listening to him. But I don't like how he plays. So, but yeah, he's a good dude. But yeah, it's just hard. It's hard for him to get playing time. Like Desmond Bain struggled. Tyus Jones not getting overlap anymore. So they're trying to unload somebody to play Xavier Tillman and then eventually Jaren Jackson to get all those dudes. Is DeMarcus Cousins worth stashing? I mean, he kind of isn't. I don't know your situation, but like, why? He's had all this time to sign with somebody. And think about how bad the Lakers are. Like, think about teams that are so thin at center, and like they're not giving DeMarcus Cousins a shot. Like, I don't know. I don't feel great about it. Who to drop for the next big trade? Yeah, Rubio, man. Drop Rubio or Trent. You're probably gonna drop them both, Gary Trent Jr. or Ricky Rubio. Yeah, I don't. I mean, Kuzma maybe he'll be all right depending on what you're looking for. All right, let's talk a little Nets. How do you want it? How does it feel? Nights full of Alize Johnson, monster. 23, 15, 2 steals. Crazy. I did not play him. Steve Nash said he was going to play him. G League baller. Kicking myself for not playing him. I talk about Nick Claxton all the time on 3Ball. If you guys want me to talk more Nick Claxton, I can. I talked about it earlier too. But Bruce Brown's going to go away. Pretty discouraging stuff, especially him not playing late in the Blazers game. That was really sad for me. Chris Shields is really good per minute, but doesn't get the playing time consistently, obviously. They ran some wild big man lineups yesterday. Like, think about this. They ran a starting lineup with no centers, and then their bench unit was 3 centers. Reggie Perry is a center, has a couple spot minutes with DeAndre Jordan, but crazy rotation last night. Utah, pretty boring. Zach Lowe said that they're looking for JJ Redick. So that would, tighten things up a little bit for your Georges Niangs and nobody really else. I mean, he's kind of just going to be a playoff piece. I don't really think he's really worth it. Who to drop if a nice upside pick emerges? Derek White, Nick Claxton, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, or Hassan Whiteside. So you got 2 high upside picks in there. So probably both of those aren't going to be great to pick up. So those, like, chances are one of those dudes are going to be a drop. So one of those guys. And then after that, like, probably Claxton over White. I think Derek White's going to have a pretty good finish to his season. Let's see, other trades. Yeah, I mentioned Kuzma. I don't think Beal's getting traded. Talked about that earlier. Are the Lakers? Yeah, let's get to that. Let me finish up these teams. I actually talked about those already. Okay, so the teams that didn't play last night, talked about the Knicks, Lakers. They're in on Lowry reportedly, but like they don't have anything to give up for Kyle Lowry, so I don't buy that report. They need Andre Drummond real bad. Like you're starting Devontae Kaycock right now at center. That's how bad things are for you. So yeah, I would be pretty cautious there. Rumors on THT, rumors on Montrezl Harrell, rumors on Dennis Schroeder, rumors on KCP. Lots of rumors. They need to do something. I mean, like think of like this is crazy. Pull up the standings here really quick. Like look at this. They are like 3-game losing streak, 4.5 out. They're playing games right there. 4 games from that. Like and their schedule, like, oh man, if they don't get those guys back, their schedule gets rough. They pull this up real quick. Look at this. So Philly, Cleveland, Orlando, Milwaukee, Sacramento. That was fine. This road trip, man. LA, Toronto's not great anymore. Miami, Brooklyn, at New York, at Charlotte, Boston, Utah, Dallas. Like that, brutal. And if you don't have LeBron for that stretch, man, it could get bleak in a hurry. Updates on KD. Yeah, Blondes have what a freaking dude. Iron Eagle is the GOAT, man. I don't know how anybody that watches basketball doesn't choose the Nets broadcast over whatever. And I live in Phoenix, so whenever the instances happen and the Nets are playing the Suns and you get blacked out because you have to watch the local game, I get mad. If Iron Eagle is calling a game and I can't watch it, I get so salty. He does football, does college basketball. I'm from New Jersey, and like he used to call like the Jets games, and it was like God, that guy. He's like my favorite, man. Iron Eagle's the best. Always Nets broadcast. Like there's no contest, man. I like the Knicks. I like the Lakers. I like the Mavs are fun. The Pelicans are great. I love the Blazers broadcast. Brick Olsendam's like the GOAT of sidelining and hosting. But yeah. Sorry, tangent. KD update. So, timeline. Mentioned this the first day. Props to me that he's messed up this hamstring 3 times in his career. So, this is taking longer, and I think they're just keeping it safe. Like, KD wants a freaking ring. So, he's going to get ramped up eventually. You're probably looking at, like, tax day. Best case. He's hurt a couple weeks there. Yeah, so we already talked about the Orlando ads, but yeah, Wendell Carter Jr. is the ad right now. I think Chuma right now, and maybe Terrence Ross. They're just not done yet. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll probably wrap it in 5 minutes. Who talks about fantasy basketball to themselves for 90 minutes. But yeah, just going back to Orlando, this is kind of the hot topic here. Birch is going to get traded. I think Birch has a pretty good market. He can guard a lot of guys. It's easily Wendell Carter Jr. Like Birch just isn't that great. He's like good against the enforcer Valanciunas and Jokic's and Steven Adams's and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I guess if I had to rank on who's on the team now, Wendell Carter Jr. first, and I'm assuming Aaron Gordon gets traded. If Depot doesn't get traded, is KPJ a drop? I mean, maybe. I just think Depot's getting traded, right? So, probably. Quinn Buckner. Quinn Buckner's he's all right. Toronto and King. Yeah, yeah. If you guys have any, I love talking broadcasts. So I used to hate the Kings broadcast, but Mark Jones is fun. I kind of make fun of him for being the how do you do fellow kids stuff, but no, he does a good broadcast. Like it's cool. Guys who are just there to call a game. But he tries to have fun, like Iron Eagle does. Like Iron Eagle is the corniest dude, but if you appreciate when he has those gems, man, it just makes your night. Do I drop? You cannot drop SGA, man. Plantar fasciitis. Hopefully your trade deadline's not gone, but they're gonna shut him down a little bit. What players will become ads? Follow me on Twitter, man. I'm assuming you are. I'll be talking. I'll be tweeting out a lot of stuff. We're gonna do the live show, so definitely check back for that. What are the notes? I didn't hit Warriors. Jordan Poole has the green light to fire away. Eric Pascal is out of the rotation right now. Chick Kern, put him in the popcorn machine, man. That's a legendary line. Also, I don't know if anybody. It's funny. So, like, if you talk about like, sometimes I'll be on this website, Popcorn Machine, and like, if you're an NBA head, hardcore DFS, like, this website, and like, people go on, like, people will say, like, what is that? It's like, it's a popcorn machine. Are you like ordering popcorn? Like, no. So yeah, it has the old Chick Hearn quote up here. Faked him in the popcorn machine. Got salt and butter all over him. Like, love that line. So yeah, but popcorn machine's freaking dope. Anyways, I'm a tangent fest. Well, yeah, Jordan Poole, man. I think I mentioned this earlier. Earlier in another pod. He's gonna get upper 20s, man. I think he's already leapfrogged everybody. Damian Lee, Bazemore. Who's next? It may be Kelly Oubre next. That's a tough one. Jakob Poeltl or Wendell Carter Jr. Like, okay, so this comes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, if Jakob Poeltl's your worst player and you do not like him, like, okay, sure. Like, if Jakob Poeltl isn't giving you what you need, like, break up with Jakob Poeltl. You can find somebody else. I think I have Jakob, and I never considered that. So I get the question a lot. I don't play shallow leagues. I refuse to join them. And the leagues that I'm in that are too shallow, I hate them because they're like industry stuff. But anyways, yeah, it's so hard for me to answer that. Talked about Magic earlier. I know everyone's talking about Magic if you keep joining, but yeah, like I said, Wendell Carter Jr. for sure. I would probably put again. I'm not counting the Aaron Gordons and Michael Carter Williamses and those dudes. Like, I think Ken Burch is getting traded today, so like Wendell Carter Jr. is the guy I want. Then probably Otto. Then probably Chuma. Then Dwayne Bacon. Then yeah, that's kind of where we're at here. Yeah, I think I got Wizards. Apparently open to dealing. Troy Brown, Mo Wagner, Jerome Robinson, Davis Bertans also available. Ish Smith could also be available. So they're going to look to sell, which is not great for Russell Westbrook. This guy, he had those knee scopes all the time. Been playing a lot of minutes. Been playing probably more minutes than he wanted to. So, probably knee scope. So if they keep losing games, Otto's getting bought out 100%. I don't know about that. That's a lot of money to buy out. But we'll see. He definitely can be. Yeah, well, I mean, why not? Otto's been good, man. Like, Otto was like a first rounder when he was really humming. Now he's could get minutes. So, all right, I'll do. What else? Is there anything I didn't cover that you guys wanted me to talk about? I didn't talk about the Blazers actually. Where are my Blazers notes at? Let's see. Yeah, they were in on McGee, not anymore. They are reportedly out on Aaron Gordon. They may want to bring LaMarcus Aldridge back. So yeah. Satoransky, he should keep the starting job. I don't know why he wouldn't. He's been better defensively, better than Kobe White. Kobe White's way better in a bench role. Yeah, Derek White's been a hot topic today. I think he's gonna be good. Yeah, if DeRozan's not traded, I think he'll be all right. All right. I'll hang around for 2 more minutes if you guys have any pressing questions or a team I didn't cover. I think I got them all though. I kind of covered Philly a little bit. Where my notes at? I forgot how I titled them all. So yeah, they're obviously in on Lowry. They could be trading kind of a number of guys. We'll see where Maxey goes, but yeah, we know Daryl Morey certainly isn't bashful about making trades and did kind of put the Rockets in a bit of a bad spot, but obviously Morey is the GOAT. Poku over Robert Williams? I don't think so. I think you keep Robert Williams. His ups. Hey, like, imagine Robert Williams getting traded somewhere and getting 30 minutes. Could you even imagine that? Like, first rounder. So yeah, I would not, like, if I'm dropping Robert Williams, it's for somebody good. Like, I meant like Moses or something. Like, Poku is fine. Poku has upside, but like, he's not clear yet. So all right, so I'm gonna wrap it up on that. You guys, I'll be back with Drew Dinkmeyer, Andrew Wiggins. We are gonna wrap it up with all these. The last half hour is gonna be bananas. Like, we're all gonna be like looking at ourselves with blank faces, breaking all this down. It was fun to do it by myself and talk to all you guys. I really appreciate all of the questions. So I'm out of here. I'll be back in a couple hours. Let's go.